Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of CtD Tech Thursday. Tonight we're going to be talking about transition and why people struggle with it. So we are going to bring in Ron. He looks like he's ready. He was giving me some entertainment before we started. Looked like he was singing. So we'll bring Ron in. Take off our overlay. Hello.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
How are you? It's Taco
I'm
Tuesday
good.
over here.
Taco Tuesday on a Thursday?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday. I got the cheese. She tasting the Kool-Aid.
All right.
Taco Tuesday over here.
All right. Well, tonight we are going to be watching partial of the King of the Lanes, the first show and the second show, talking about transition, what it means, why people struggle with it, and what you can do about it. So, Ron, let's get a little EC update. I know you are not there, but a lot of things going on.
A lot of things, man. Tearing up walls and painting them and doing all kinds of wild stuff. It's coming along. It's coming along, man. It's just gonna take some time. You know, it probably come along a little faster if we didn't have Taco Tuesday, but you got to throw Taco Tuesday in there.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's how it goes.
All right. So if you're ready, we can go ahead and get right into it.
Let's do it.
All right. Let me pull this up. So we have show number 1 here. That is the very first show that they did. So we'll go ahead and start it and talk about it.
So what I want you to do is I want you to watch where these guys are playing at, right? Where Norm is playing at. You know, that's like, well, it says 16-7 right there.
Yep.
So we'll watch where he's playing at. Now they bowl, him and Walter bowl a match, right? And then the winner bowls who?
Winter Bowls West.
Okay. So let's see where Walter's playing at. So Walter's right at him, right? So Walter's 11-9. So they're both fairly straight, but Walter's right.
Mm-hmm.
And what is so interesting to me is when you watch the match, and we'll kind of speed through some. I'm not trying to play the whole thing.
Yeah.
We want to kind of watch where their scores kind of end up at, because that matters. That matters on they're bowling on a fresh pattern. It's got to be close to a house shot. They don't specifically say, but you can see by some of the shots if you watch the whole show, some of the shots and how their misses are, and they come back. It's a easier shot than say typical of what the PBA would be bowling on.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's something not super high ratio, but it's not hard.
Right. It's definitely not hard. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing is you just kind of watch where they're playing. They're both a little bit right. You know, well, Norm's a little bit in. So Norm's in further, but they're both straighter, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, so the second frame here, Norm left the 10-pin and missed it. So both of them they're right there.
And obviously, I mean, these are two of the best that ever bowled. So, I mean, they know what they're doing. Yeah. So that's 11-2.
Yeah.
So he actually moved right.
Right.
This is one of the things that you should be watching. You know, when you're watching at home, when you're watching the shows, especially with that strike track that they got, it can give you a lot of useful information. So you can see how these guys, how they make, what kind of moves they make. So basically, at this juncture, Walter and Norm are playing the same line, right?
Yeah, they're right on top of each other. So he's further in on that lane.
Yeah,
which will come into play in the next match with EJ and Simonson because they both seem like they struggle with the left lane.
Yeah.
So left lane is definitely playing different for both of them. We got an ad coming. Skip this.
Oh. Man, we got to get you on that YouTube Premium, bro.
Yeah.
Can't be having no ads. YouTube Premium. There's Walter. That was a little bit straighter. A little bit straighter, a little bit in, and he got the
Paid for it.
That kind of rhymed. A little bit straighter, a little bit in, and he got the 6, 7, 10. Well, you can fast forward a little bit more. We know how this is going to go. He's probably not going to make that split. Flatty 10 pin. But look, he's still at 11 to 8.
Yeah.
That's the right lane, too.
Ryan brings up a good point here. Says lane topography shows up on this show. Could be right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know why the left lane is so much different. It could be topography.
Baseball.
Saturday, baseball, Cubs. Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get forward a little bit more in this match.
Yep. All right, Norman. He's still at that 11, 12 area.
Yep.
Giving him the business. He's been giving him the business since he was like 18, I think.
Man, these IU ads.
Man, you ruining my eyesight over there. All right, let's see here.
Still further left on that lane. That looks really good.
Yeah. So that was like a 1-1 left. I don't know that he meant to do that, but nonetheless. So the point here is look at the score, right? The scoring pace is high. 230, 260 is the maximum for both those guys. So the scoring pace is high. So they're bowling on a fresh pair. They're fairly straighter. You would think, Walter being a little bit straighter than Norm, that Walter would be at a disadvantage, I would think, right? Because if Norm is left of him and the balls are chewing up the oil, then it should give Norm a little bit more room when he misses, right, for his ball to pick up some of the chewed up version from Walter and keep going. And I think the flat 10 pin from Walter is kind of an indication that his ball isn't, it's not continuing through the pins really well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Deja Bowler said, "Boo Cubs, go Cards." Come on, man. Come on, man. So Walter's throwing a super strong asymmetric ball too. And he's throwing it straight. That was a little bit in, but it struck. He's not playing the lanes that different, right?
No, he's pretty much dead on top of each other on both lanes.
Maybe because he's straighter.
What's that?
Maybe because he's straighter.
Yeah.
That's right, Russell. U2 red is the only way to go, bro. Only way to go. Let's see. Straighter, flatty. Yeah, flatty 10. I saw flatty 10 all day long on that one. So anyway, I think that if you got two guys that are both playing straight, but one of them's in, that gives the guy who's in a little bit more of an advantage, which, I mean, I'm saying that, and obviously Norm wins, but I just think in general that's kind of the thought process there.
Now, you say that because the people that are in can bounce off of the people that are right, correct?
Correct. If Duke misses right, he's got a chance for his ball to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Walter, if he misses right, he's probably in trouble, right? He's gonna flat 10 pin.
Yeah.
All right, so we know who wins here. Let's go to the next match, right? Because now he's got to bowl Wes.
Oh, you want to go to the next match in this show? I'm sorry.
Well, nah, we don't really need to do that. We could do what we said we initially were going to do. We said we were going to skip to the EJ match, EJ and Simonelli.
Okay, let me get that up.
So why this is important, I believe this is one of the best TV shows to talk about transition, man. Like, I watched this thing and I was going crazy in the staff group talking about, y'all watching this? Are y'all seeing this craziness? This is great information. Anyway, So this to me is very interesting, watching them bowl. Obviously, two of the best in the game on the young side of the group. You know, the other guys are on the older side of the coin. These guys are the young kids, and two of the best. So way inside, like crazy inside.
Yeah.
So it's a 20-6. So he's literally hooking the whole lane because he's setting it down at probably 27, 28. Now, to be fair, they're bowling on a fresh pattern too, right?
Yes. So what we discussed is the reason why we think this match was so different, correct?
Yeah.
So this match was immediately after the conclusion of the Duke Malott match, which they re-oiled, but it didn't set, which can, of course, lead to trouble, as we're going to see here.
So look, so EJ is a little bit right of Simo, right?
And I just took off.
Yeah. So he's 18-8. Simo was in deeper than that. and getting it further right. So he's like crossing him, right?
Yep.
And you can see already EJ is kind of like, that's not what I expected. But when you're bowling on a fresh pair that's not sat, the oil can move very, very quickly. So you can create transition extremely fast. And I believe that's part of the problem here. Now, we all agree that this lane hooks more too, right?
Yeah.
So he should be deeper on this lane.
Yep. Which he is. He crossed 17 at the arrows on the other lane.
Yeah. Yeah, so he wasn't deeper. He still was in deeper, but his ball still hooked too much. But he was not deeper. Well, the same thing. He's crisscrossing Simonson, right?
Yeah. And I thought it was interesting when I watched this for the first time. Some of the strategies that they went for that I honestly never really would have thought of, especially Simonson, as we watch the match develop. So it's interesting how these guys think about attacking this.
Yeah.
We can skip. And Simonson's throwing two different balls.
Yeah. He's in deep. That was further right.
Yep.
So that's what should have happened, though, right? He set it down on the same spot, the arrows, but it was two boards right.
Yeah. Launch angle was too open.
Yep.
That was two boards right.
At the break point.
Correct.
So yeah. So, but once again, it's still a big crisscross, right? Spare, get them. So it's still a big crisscross, right? So they're crisscrossing each other. So the oil's being able to move a lot faster. And in one case, Simo went flush, and then the ball was right, and the ball never recovered. And EJ hasn't had his ball hit the head pin yet, right? It took it too much in both cases. So there's EJ again. So now he's flush there.
Yeah, so he moved probably 3-0, open that angle up.
Right. But he's got to make a move on this lane too, because this lane hooks even more.
Mm-hmm. So he was 21-6 on that lane, or on the right lane.
He's still on is that the Venom Shock or is that the VIP ball?
Venom Shock. He hasn't gone to the VIP yet.
Venom Shock. Classic good piece. Oh, yeah, look at that. There it is.
So that was way right.
Way right. Did that ball say Hey, can you back up? Because I think it said, did it say EJ VIP? Is that what it said?
It did.
Did it say that? EJ VIP, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What?
It did.
I gotta ask him. EJ VIP, hold on. I'm gonna ask him.
All right.
Right now.
Call him. Have a guest on CTD Tech Thursday.
I mean, I don't want to call him out like that. I thought it was just called VIP. I didn't know it was called the EJ VIP.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that. All right. So anyway, Simon was in deep, but didn't get it far enough right.
Right. Arrows were about the same, but projection wasn't there.
Yep. That's not a pretty split to make either.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Randy show you how you're supposed to make it though with the yellow line. Get the ball over there, get the red arrow, out. Send it to the left. I don't think it happens this time though.
No. Man, here comes another ad.
What? What is going on?
It's like streaming. Yep.
Got to do more better. All right.
Oh, I think this is where he makes that change.
He decides he's gonna go back up.
Yep.
Yeah. Bang.
That's insane.
That right there is a gangster move right there. To be in a match and then just decide, you know what? I'm done with all this. I'm done with all this stuff. I'm going straight to the backup ball.
Right.
But look, watch this. Ugh. I mean, it looks normal.
Yeah, it's insane.
And what kind of layout do you have to have? I mean, all of a sudden your layout don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And see, now he got that one in. He missed 2 boards in on that one. So, I think he responded to me.
Okay.
Let's see. Yes, sir, with the smiley face with the glasses.
Very nice. That was a weird.
Yeah, that was
Really? So here he goes to the VIP.
Where the EJ at? I'm trying to see the EJ on it.
Let's see if we can see it. Oh. Oh.
VIP.
Yeah, it just says VIP. Norm's confused.
Yeah, Norm's like real confused. He said, "What the hell is Simonson doing?"
I thought it was interesting that he balled up but moved right.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, it looked like it just didn't want to finish there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna go. Like it looks like it's gonna go, but then it doesn't. Oh, Dustin got the half speed. So watch. That right there looks good as long as it keeps going. If it keeps going, it's a strike, but it stops.
Just didn't face up at all.
It didn't keep going. It just didn't keep going. Now, I don't know why it didn't keep going, but if that ball would have kept going, he'd have been fine. But now he's in trouble, right? Because now with that kind of reaction, you got to square up even more and hope the ball stops in the right spot. But you got no room for error. And if it stops too early, you're going flat tipping.
Now, if you were in that situation, would you stick with the same ball or?
No, that ball's gone.
Yeah.
You got to go. Because it just now you have to ace every shot. Anthony's not acing all these shots. Well, no. I mean, that don't really count.
I wonder if he could have bumped left, added some rotation, and it would have looked good.
Yeah, I mean, I should have asked him what was he thinking there, because I don't know what he was thinking. Like, obviously, he had too much over-under out of the Venom shock, so maybe he went to the stronger ball, make it quit a little bit more to gain more control. Like, that would make sense to me. And Rob said he got more behind the back of it, which that's true too. Maybe that was kind of the plan. But now the problem is now you've got no room for error. If that ball doesn't face up at the right spot, you're not going to strike because the ball's not going to the pins. He's not going left to the pins, right?
I think it's interesting that he's still up in this match, as much as he has no ball reaction.
Yeah,
still up.
Simonson had that 5-1.
Right.
Look at Duke, the Duke of Earl. So anyway, let's see. Anthony's like, look, I'm gonna give him that hot heater on the backup action. You know what's crazy? That ball was right, but it came back. Look at that line. It was left. I'm sorry, it was left out of his hand, but because it's more like a house shot, it made it all up in the back end lane. Which now either got a little pressure, right? This has got to be a good shot.
So stick with VIP here.
So it's got a hook, but then it hooks. See, he's lost. So that may have just been a bad shot though, right? It was 4. Yeah, it was 4 left off his hand, and then it was almost 4 at the break point. So I think he was expecting it to maybe push a little more before it turned the corner.
So back to the Venom shock.
Back to the Venom shock. And he's still up.
Yeah.
I mean, the game is 70% over, and he's still up. But see, this ball, that's the problem. That ball was too much over under, right? Now it's the under portion of it. Mm-hmm. It was right. That ball's right. I mean, look how steep that angle is.
Yeah.
But he's trying to compensate for the fact that it can't hook it too much, right? So he's in a bad spot. He's in a bad spot there.
Now, if this is you, what would you do?
Well, I mean, you got to shoot the spare, but so now if I'm him, you almost got to go to a different ball because the Venom shock, nice spare, Venom shock is too over under. It's too angular down lane. But the VIP, when he goes up the back of it, is too stoppy. You need something that's more in the middle. You know what I probably would have? You know what I probably would use? If I was him? I probably would grab, what was that red ball?
Primal.
I probably would grab a primal and try to blend it out because you got both ends of the spectrum there.
Mm.
So Anthony will give him that backup again, which ended up being a huge shot for him.
That was huge. Catching it right there.
Matt got a double. So now he's up. He went from being down to being up just because he got a double. I can't imagine, how hard – it's hard to throw a strike, period, let alone throw a strike on the opposite side. You know what I'm saying? And then that was wide left. Oh, no, actually it was dead on. Actually, that shot was dead the same. So yeah, I mean, I understand. Yeah, it does because you're in a bad spot because you don't know what you don't know when you don't know what your ball's going to do. You become in a real bad spot real fast, and then you see your opponent figure something out. So he's back to the Venom shot, which is too angular down lane, unless he dead aces it, right? Which that was 3 boards left. At the same angle, right? To get back to the.
It looked like, I don't know, to my eyes, it looked like he added some rotation.
Agreed.
So.
But if he hits on it or gets around it, then it goes through the face.
Right.
This is rough, bro. This is hard. We think the pattern was 42 feet. You can't see nothing from that angle, but he got 10 back.
Yeah, when they show the behind view, it looks like the pattern goes to the beginning of the second set of rangefinders. So it's at 39, 40.
Yeah, I thought they said it was 42. I think I remember hearing them say that. It could be wrong, but I thought that's what they said. So let's see.
Needs it. It's a really good shot.
It's a really pure shot too, dude. Like that's the one that you really want. And so you look at the actual information, it was a little bit right.
Oops.
A little bit right at the break point. See? It was like dead on, pretty much dead on at the arrows, but it was just a little bit right. Which is crazy. I mean, we're talking not much difference at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to be under that pressure of having to try to figure out something so quick, rough.
Yeah, it's one thing to figure it out over 2 games, let alone 6 frames where you have to perform. That can be mentally taxing, especially in something like this where you need to be 110% focused on what's going on.
And this is pressure on Anthony too, because he's got to make a good pitch left-handed or back. And that was spot on. That's spot on. So, but the lesson, in my opinion, right? The lesson there is 2 parts. In this case, Anthony's ball reaction, he was like, yo, I don't have a hole. He actually went straighter, right? At the end of the day, he went straighter.
Yeah.
So my takeaway, and I want to hear yours, is my takeaway is when you get into that position to where you're bowling in the lane's transition, you don't know what to do, figure out a way to go straighter. I mean, he's going 11-6 when he was going like 20, setting it down like 25-6 on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it like anything, it really depends on what the lanes are giving you. But if it's transitioning and that move is to move right or throw it back up if you're comfortable with it, then that's what you do. And you have to find those, especially in like a 6-game format, you have to find those times where you're able to try these things, whether it be on a fill shot or something else where you have a chance to try a new ball, new release, make a move. It's super important to, whether the move be left or right, to figure those things out as soon as you can.
Got to. And that means making drastic moves. I mean, kudos to Anthony by making that crazy, that crazy of a move. I mean, it's just this is what I'm doing and committing to it.
Yeah. Something that he is comfortable doing, and of course he can do it with some success.
Yeah, he's got no problem repeating.
Go to the Duke match.
Yeah, so in this case, Anthony, he ends up going back to normal release, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to play straighter. I think he even goes down to like urethane.
Yeah,
but he match up.
He starts throwing a pitch black, and he's fairly square. I don't think he was doing 16-10 like he just did.
Yeah, this ain't easy to make either.
No, but got that backup release, so he can.
Got that backup, boy. Y'all better watch out. I'm telling you, when somebody gets to that level where they can just throw it any direction they want, and they can do it as often as they want, on command, everybody's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in trouble.
And Duke even said that in the match before, talking about a two-hander that can throw it with their dominant hand and then I guess technically it's both diamond hands, but throw it back up and then throw it normal.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's just some next level. It's some next level bowling, and he's so young. He's got plenty of time to develop that out. And as a matter of fact, I think he's got a title, a regional title doing the backup bowling.
I think so as well.
It's crazy, man. But like I said, kudos, bro. Like,
I mean, if that's something that you can do, by all means, do it. So Duke is pretty close to where he was in the first match on that lane. Granted, that was 3 boards right at the break point.
mm-hmm. You see what my man William Gilmore said? He was like, I'm all about this free bowling, man. 7 free games of bowling. Man, look, I'm going to tell you something, William. You ain't been bowling, bro. You just had to go out and put 7 games on there. You're going to be hurting for about a week. It's going to be a game a day. Every game you bowl, you're going to be like, it's going to be a whole other day you're going to have to pay for it. So ease into it. Ease into it. Take some time, Work your way up to those 7 games.
Yep. All right. Anything else you wanted to check out in this match?
Not really, man. I think this is a true statement. He's one of the most dangerous bowlers in the PBA for sure. Yeah. So I think there's some lessons, right? Some of the lessons are, 1, when you get in trouble, straight is greater. 2, maybe we should all get a little backup interaction. I mean, you can back it up one-handed. You can back it up one-handed too. Maybe we should practice that. I mean, it came in handy on that split he left for sure, on the split and on the what was it, the 3, 6, 9, 10? Yeah. So, some lessons. What did you take away from this experience, Dustin?
I mean, I think it's reaffirms that there's a reason these guys are the best in the world. I mean, whether you're throwing it back up or you're just like EJ, just trying to figure it out. Like, these things are incredibly hard to do, especially on the spot. But I thought it was interesting that these guys, especially EJ, like, they were in it the whole time. Like, that's another thing that's super hard to do mentally.
Yeah, for sure. EJ may have the ball called the VIP, but I got that VIP cup. Oh man, yeah. I mean, you're 100% right on that. Like that's why I have so much respect for these guys, because to make this your livelihood and then to find success in doing it it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's very, very hard.
Yeah, I think to get into this position, speaking from experience, like, you have to go through the bad times to get to where you want to be. I mean, I can't tell you how many tournaments that is like, oh, there's another one that didn't bowl well in, but as you progress and keep bowling these events, and you get 6 games with 8 people on a pair, you start to figure these things out. Like, okay, well, make a 3 and 2 here, and I should be in the pocket, and boom, there it is.
Right. Of course, 8 people on a pair, man, the way we headed, that may not happen anytime soon again. You know what I'm saying? We may be going the other way. Yeah. 2 on a pair, 1 on a lane.
Jeez.
I just wanted to get better. That's all. I mean, I understand why we're doing what we're doing. I understand why it is the way it is too. So, but I hope it gets better sooner rather than later. We all want to get back to bowling. We all want to be a VIP.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are in cups and some of us are on bowling balls, but
I can't be a VIP.
What you got on the other side though? You a little CtD? I mean, that's the same thing. Yeah. CtD, VIP, they're both 3 letters.
Basically the same thing.
It's basically the same thing. So,
all right. Well, what did you take away from it other than these guys are good?
I mean, it's hard, bro. Like it's hard, and like I said, it's a lot of work. And I do think that I'm glad that bowling was back. I'm glad that that they figured out some way to get some people doing some stuff on there, which is good. Having live bowling is an escape. Yesterday it was on again too, which was cool. Yeah. But I had to watch it and the versus battle.
Woo!
Did you watch the versus battle, Dustin?
Yeah.
Snoop Doggy Dogg versus DMX.
My boy Snoop.
Yeah.
Crushed him.
Well, he did, but it's because DMX is old. He's old, and obviously
Snoop's old.
I mean, Snoop's old, but Snoop still raps.
Grooving.
Yeah. Snoop still raps. DMX. You could tell he ain't hit the gym in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. You could tell.
He was just waiting for that McDonald's on the outside of the studio.
He was definitely hitting that McDonald's a little hard, no doubt. No doubt. It was still good though. I watched the thing with Pete and Kyle. It was kind of fun, and with Prather, and so I'm just glad that bowling is back. It's cool to be able to watch some bowling live on TV. It's been that way all week, so that was a cool treat.
Yeah. Is this going through the rest of the week?
No.
No.
I don't think so. And you're right, Sean Friendly. He said Gigi and Claire did well too. Yep, it was nice to see some females on there doing their thing, showing out. That was definitely nice too. So it was good, man. It was definitely it was good to just have bowling back on. That's all, having bowling back on.
X gotta get it.
I mean, I think the best way to describe it was DMX has. So first off, me personally, I like DMX better than Snoop because DMX was part of the reason that I got through college. But DMX has a lot of like great hit songs, like just some great hit songs, right? But Snoop has like his songs are more like weapons of mass destruction. like he's got them bombs that when they hit, they just destroy everything. Like an atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some authentic, unbelievable just heaters. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really in my opinion, it wasn't really the best matchup. It was a great matchup and it was great. I thought the best part of the whole thing was when they were singing each other's songs or like ad-libbing or like being on the hook. You know what I'm saying? Like that was cool to me. You can tell that they were having a lot of fun.
Yeah. I liked how, I'm a big Snoop guy. I don't really listen to DMX. But I just thought it was interesting. He pulled out a lot of the stuff from his first record. I didn't think he would do anything other than Gin and Juice.
Yeah, but the shirt he had on was his album cover.
Yeah.
The shirt Snoop had on was his album cover.
Yep.
Yeah, Sean. So they did individual songs. They did like a verse or two of individual songs that they did going back and forth. If you haven't watched a versus battle, you should definitely check them out. You can find them online somewhere. Sure on YouTube somewhere. But what it is it's typically started out on Instagram, and it's basically two people that have to be rappers, but typically it's rappers, and they battle each other with their classic hits. So one person plays his classic hits, the other dude plays his classic hit, and they talk a little bit, and then they go back in and they talk a little bit. And they started doing it when the pandemic kind of broke out. It was Timberland and Swiss Beats started it. And then it was so popular, it was going so well that it just blew up. It just kind of blew up from there. So that's what it is if you don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, our little bowling kick. One of the other things that's kind of interesting is, EJ and Simon both are big fans of True Cut. Both of them. Both those guys use True Cut a lot. I don't know what finish he had on his ball. I saw somebody ask Ryan asked what kind of service did he have. I don't know what service he had on his ball. But they both like True Cut. And Kyle likes True Cut too. Yeah, he likes True Cut too. So True Cut is definitely making some impact out there on the national or on the professional bowlers tour. Yeah. And we're definitely, that's cool. That's really, really cool to be able to have a little part in these guys' success and be able to watch them, go from when they were rookies to where they're like, player of the years, real competitors. So
I remember when EJ made his first show. Like, whoa, it's pretty dope. And he's like one of the best in the PBA.
In the world. Yeah, he's one of the best in the world, without question. Without question. Yeah. And Simonson is too. Simonson's up there too. And he's doing it at such a young age. It's just that's what happens when you put in a lot of work. At the end of the day, you got to put in a lot of work if you want to be good. And now that we got the education center, well, we ain't got it yet. But when we get the education center done, Dustin, we're gonna be able to put in work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like those guys. But we can put in some work. I think we need to have some more matches. We can have Ron versus Dustin.
I mean, why would you do that? That's not a loss for you, bro.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
I think we bowled one time in that building. I think the one time we bowled in that building, I ended up with like an 8-ounce steak on my plate that night.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, you gotta help each other out every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember. That's not how it went. I think there was more of this is my house and you're not gonna beat me in my house, and I think it was more like that. And then it was like, and buying my steak at the same time. I remember that steak was really tasty. But we can do another rematch once we get the education center going. We can do a little rematch. I might even have EJ and Anthony come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both have actually asked at some point. So we'll do that. We'll definitely do that.
I won't challenge them because I know it's a loss.
Why? Man,
they're pros.
Well, you can't beat them. You can't beat me either then. And I'm not even a pro. Deja Bowl what a label drill is, man. The reason why there's not a whole lot on there to it is because it's an old terminology. It doesn't really have a whole lot of relevance anymore because bowlers now use access points when you lay out bowling balls. Essentially, it's when you put the label or the CG of the ball toward the center of your hand and you put the pin in about the 130 position. But nobody does bowling balls like that anymore. Like if you go somewhere and you're a pro shop operator or is talking about doing a label drill, it's time to find a pro shop operator. We don't drill bowling balls that way. We use access points, and with access points, we can get real a lot more precise. So that's how you should. That's probably why there's not a lot of information on YouTube about it. So anyway, Dustin, we're gonna have some. Matter of fact, I think it's like a week. Are we together in like a week?
Are we together in a week?
Yeah.
Week from tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we're on the same team in that, so that's we bowling together. But then after that, then we're both coming down to my house, right? To the EC. I don't know that. The only problem is I'm not sure that the lanes are going to be usable.
You got the Pinnacle,
but it's not the same, bro.
I mean, are you scared or what?
It's not about being scared. I'm just saying that the Pinnacle isn't the same as the Education Center. We want to go to the Creating the Difference Education Center, man. We spend all this money. We may as well at least go enjoy some of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make them pull the plastic. I'll do that. I'll tell them to pull the plastic off of 1 and 2, and we'll still bowl on 1 and 2. Because right now there's like this gigantic sheet of plastic over the whole approach and lanes on all 4 lanes.
I'll pull up a photo.
You gonna pull up a photo? Look, you even got look. You even got you a fan right here. Hold on. Oh, no. Hold on. Right there. William Gilmore says, I got you, Dustin. I'll throw your thing to break down Ron's side for you. You can throw whatever you want. You want to get some, you come get some too, William. On down to the EC. Get you a little beating like everybody else. Woo! So, well, you can pull it up. There it is. So look at this. So, by the way, I'm not doing this work. I'm paying to have it done, but nonetheless, on the right side, there was carpet on both sides. So now the carpet's taken down, and they've started the process to prepare the wall to paint it. It isn't being painted yet. It's just being prepared to be painted. So you can kind of see, and I'm doing it all in black and white because I don't want anybody to see what the actual color is unless you're physically in the building. But we will have like a grand reveal and all that kind of fancy stuff when we're done. And you can kind of look down and see how hazy it is because part of the preparation is preparing the wall and then sanding the wall. And they're not using True Cut, by the way. They're using other products to sand the wall. But when they get it done, it'll look clean and it'll look professional. But if you look real closely on lanes 1 and 2, you can see a little bit of Dustin's rear end on the approach because that's where it got last time he bowled me. You know what I'm saying? Where a little bit of his rear end ended up at right there on lane 1 and 2 on the approach.
Wow. Well, what's the bet then?
I mean, whatever you got to lose, bro. What do you want to lose?
Well, I don't know. I don't got very much to lose.
Well, you got some pride to lose, I think. You got some pride to lose.
$100.
More than happy to take it.
$100.
You want to bet cash?
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, if you want to really bet, what are we bowling? Like, how many games we got to bowl?
3 games total.
3 games total pins? Not best of 3?
No.
Why not best of 3? I only got to bowl 12. I only got to bowl 2 games that way.
Here.
Come on, man.
1 game for dinner or 3 games total for 100.
I mean, whatever you willing to lose, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
1 game for the poo-poo platter.
No, I ain't no poo-poo platter. Cholo ain't no poo-poo platter in here, man. That's all bad. That's definitely all bad.
We'll figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna broadcast it. It might be, and they're gonna be Tech Thursday. It's gonna be CtD Dustin get a butt whooping Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We'll live stream it right from the EC. You know what I'm saying? That's what we'll do. We'll just straight up live stream it right to the EC. Maybe we'll let somebody else jump on and moderate. They can moderate the whooping. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, we got proof. And then they can go to dinner and they can watch the steak or the $100 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Watch all that too. So anyway, I mean that's all I got this time, bro. You got anything else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we're live every Thursday, so
Every Thursday.
don't forget.
Every Thursday. Even next Thursday. And next Thursday is gonna be tricky, right?
Why? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We got to figure it out. Next Thursday is kind of a tricky day. But we'll figure it out. We'll have something for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy, just kind of hanging out with us and watching what we do and helping get a little education in your life. And hopefully you're being able to bowl. If you're not being able to bowl, I feel sorry for you. And hopefully, that will change relatively soon. If not, let's figure out once we get the EC open, maybe we get some sort of like a little system where you can like fly in and maybe you have to quarantine in Kentucky. So you just quarantine at the building. You know what I'm saying? You quarantine for 2 weeks at the building and then you fly back out. I don't know. We'll figure out something. We want to get everybody back to bowling, especially you guys that are paying attention and watching what's going on. And if you're not bowling, like I said, our hearts kind of go out to you guys. Hopefully that'll change relatively soon. So anyway, Dustin, I'm good. I'm going to let you go ahead and take us on out of here.
Yeah. Next week or whenever our next episode is episode 10.
Big. 10.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
1-0.
So we are live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll give a schedule for next week. If the time has changed, if it's a little later, a little earlier, we'll post on the Facebook page to let everybody know. So if you aren't or you haven't done it already, like the Facebook page, subscribe to Ron's YouTube channel. It's Ronald Hicklin Jr. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live, as well as when new videos are up. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate all of your support joining us on CtD Tech Thursday, and we will talk to you all very, very soon. Have an awesome night, everyone.
See you later.